recording. Okay, so because in your final project you will be using the JFrame for creating your game application. So you will be creating a games, and you will be providing also your algorithm for that game. Okay, so yeah. So let's start. Here I have my module here. It is already uploaded in our Google Classroom, so you can read this one. Yeah, so how to create JFrame and so on. So we will be using the NetBeans for our laboratory. So here, yung normal creation of the project, so just click file, then new project, and then choose Java application, then next, and then you can change the project name, frames. Okay, finished. By the way, did you use already the NetBeans class? Gumamit na ba kayo ng NetBeans noon? Good afternoon, class.
Hindi pa po sa akin, sir.
Saldivar Miguel, hindi pa.
Opo, sir.
VS Code, sir.
Visual Studio Code. How about yung Java ninyo?
Sir,
Online GDB po, sir.
Online compiler. Okay. So I thought kasi that you use the NetBeans. Nga pala, online compiler pala yung ginamit niyo. Anyway, later on I'll be providing you the installer of NetBeans, but you can download NetBeans para mas maganda yung JDKNB NetBeans. Google online compiler pala kayo. Ito, JDK SDK NetBeans. Wala. Okay. Teka lang. Google Drive. Net. Ano ba yung NB? Ito. Group 1 JFrame Material Installer. Okay, so you can download this installer and then install that in your computer unit. Okay, installer, yan. JDK. Okay, anyway, let's start. Okay. So in your NetBeans, once you created a project here, it will create this file. Okay, for example, frames.java. Then here in your public static void main, so this will be your main method or main function. So for example, system.out.println hello world, run. So nandito yung output niya. So we have this one. Okay? Or in using the command prompt, you can also use the command prompt to run your program. But then again, in our they call it console programming. For the console programming, it's just pure text and no graphical user interface, no GUI. Wala siyang GUI. But in our finals for the laboratory, we'll be using JFrames to create GUI para makapag-create kayo ng GUI ninyo. So to do that, just right click your project name. In this part, right click, then click new, then JFrame. Saan yung JFrame? Yan, JFrame form. Okay? JFrame form. And then you can put the name of the class. So for example, GUI frame or graphical user interface. Finished. Now in your graphical user, for the JFrame, we have the following parts of the window. We have the design. So this is our working area. Okay? For the working area, we have the design and then we have the source. For the source, here you will put some programs, yung codes niya. And then for the design, you will be creating the user interface or the graphical user interface. And then we have also the palette. So inside the palette, here you have the components palang tawag. Components or objects. Like for example, the command button, the label, the text area or text box, the table, combo box, and so on. And we have also the properties. So this is the property. Example, let's put a label in our design there. So in every object or component, we have the property here. So for example, if you want to change the font, you just locate the font, properties font, and then click the ellipsis button. So this is the ellipsis button, and then yeah, you can change the font size, the style, for example bold, and then the font, for example Arial. Okay, yan. Okay, and then you can change also the text. Sabihin na lang natin first name. Another label, click, and there, and then you can change the font size, font style, and the font Arial. Then you can change the text here, last name. Okay. Then you can put text field or yung text box, then font, ellipsis, font size, font style, font Arial. Okay, then you can resize. Pwede nyo siyang resize. For the text field or text box, you can remove the text. Pwede nyo siyang remove. You can also change the background if you want. So here we have the background, and for example green. You can also copy paste. Ctrl C, Ctrl V. Okay, first name, last name, and then command button or button. Yeah. Then font, let's say 24, bold, and same Arial. You can change the font if you want. Yan. Marami tayong choices dito. Okay, but I'm using the Arial, mas formal. Yan. And then also the text. So for example, display. Okay. Now how to run your program or project. Okay. Yan. You can also resize the window. Okay, so by the way, this is a Windows application. We have the web application. For the web application kasi you need to open a browser so that you can run your program, right? Or see the output of your program. So you need a browser, web application. But for this one, this is a Windows application or software application because it will create its own windows. Gagawa na siya ng sarili niyang window. Just right click the file and then run file, or just press F I mean shift F6. So run file. Ayan. So this is the output. So it created its own window. Close button, resize, minimize. Ayan. Okay. Ayan. So, close. Let's say for example, let's put a label here. Then let's put another label. Ay pala, copy paste ko na lang sana. Okay. And then change the font, style, and Arial. Okay. Ayan. Then copy paste. By the way, you can put some border if you want. Meron ditong border. Where is the border? Border. Line border. Then line border. Line border. Okay. Yan. Then let's see. Output. Right click, then run file. So for example, first name Joffer and then last name Reyes. So if we click display, kapag click natin display, so the first name, anyway, yung first name, for example here, so anything that we enter in this text box or text field will be displayed in this part. And then last name, so whatever we enter in this or we input in this text box or text field, when we click display, it should be displayed in this label. So these are the labels, and then we have the text fields or text box, and then we have the command button display. Okay, how to do that? Before that, all the objects or components in our GUI should have a name. Kailangan meron siyang pangalan. For example, this one. Click your component. For example, this one, text field. Then right click, then properties. Then go to code. Or you may just click the component or object. Then in your properties, just click code. And then in your variable name, you can change the name of the component. For example, txt first name. So the name of this component or object is txt first name. Next, text field txt last name. Okay. Again, the name of this text field is txt first name, and then the name of this text field is txt last name. Now for the button here, variable name btn display, and then this one label lbl first name. So this is the label, and then another label for the last name. Okay. Let me remove the text. also this one. And para empty pa lang siya. Okay, so again, so if we run our program, our objective is anything that we enter in this text field or text box, it should be displayed in this label. Okay, this one for the first name and this one is for the last name. Okay, so to do that, we have to put some program or instruction to our command button. Okay, double click the command button, dito, and then it will automatically create this method or function. Okay, again, just double click the display and then pupunta na siya dito. Okay, then here we have to call the names of our components or objects. So for example, the label first name that set text that lbl first name. Bakit walang label? Double check. Code small letter. LBL first name, LBL last name. Then double click display here, and then we'll call the component or object. So by their name, for example, LBL first name dot set text, then a string, example hello, then LBL last name dot set text, then string, for example world. Again, in our display we have the command button. So in our function, in our source code, we have the button display action perform. So once we click the display button, we give an instruction to our program that it will display hello. By the way, the set text method or function is used for display, para siyang print line method. But in our GUI or JFrame, we'll be using set text, not print line, kasi yung print line that is used for the console, okay, yung black and white or pure text. But for the JFrame GUI, we'll be using the set text method or function. Okay, let's try. Again, we call the name of the object or component. This one, the name of this object or component is LBL first name, and this one, this is LBL last name. So in our source code, we put the name of the component LBL first name that set text hello world. Again, so if we click the display button, it will display hello, and then hello for the LBL first name, and then world for the LBL last name. Let's try. Right click, then run file, and click display hello world. Okay, let's try it again. Right click, run file, display. So when we click display, so it will display hello world in our labels using the set text method. Okay, yeah. But our objective supposed to be anything that we put in our first name and last name text fields, or text box should be displayed in this part. So to do that, here we will change this one to we will call the name of the component, for example this one, txt first name, txt first name dot So we'll be using getText method to get the value or data in our text box or text fields, then display that in our label. So same din dito. Again, the name of this text field is text last name. So txt last name dot get get text. Let's see, run. Joffer Reyes display. Joffer Reyes. Mike Aquino display. Mike Aquino. Jose Rizal display. Jose Rizal. Okay. So using the set text and get text. Some of my students said that they do appreciate using the Windows application kasi nga for the design, just only drag and drop. You will just select a component, then put that in your design. So many of my students appreciate programming because of the because of the GUI, graphical user interface. Kasi in other programming languages, it is hard coded, if you notice, and sometimes they cannot appreciate yung hard coded, most especially if the output is just only a console, right? Kaya mas na-appreciate daw ng mga students yung ganito, yung GUI. But then again, in your second year, third year, fourth year, higher year, you will be developing more designs like this one, yung mga GUI, graphical user interface. Anyway, so this is our source code. Let's try another one. Ito na lang. Let's put welcome. Then lagay na lang natin doon. Welcome, then yung name and yung last name. So try natin. Run file. Joffer Reyes. Welcome, Joffer Reyes. Right. Okay. Next, how about mathematical operators? So let me copy this one, copy paste, and change the text. For example, first number, then another one, another label for the second number. Then let's put some text box or text fields. In other programming language kasi, they're using the term text box, but in this application they are using text field. Text field. Okay, then we have to change the name of the component. For example, this one, this is for the first number, so txt first number, or kung na lang txt fn first number. Then here the second text box, txt sn for second number. Okay, then another command button, Then change the text to compute. Then let's put a what, text box na lang. Another text area, text field, font 24 bold, I'm using Arial. Then text empty, then and label. Let's put a label, text result. Ay, hindi, sorry. Font 24 bold Arial. Okay, and then text result. Okay, so this is our second objective for this program. Run file. Okay. For this one, if we put the first number 1, second number 2, so if we click compute, so the result for the meantime addition, so get the sum, display the sum 3 for example. Okay, but it should be automatic. Okay, for example pag 5, then 5 second number is 2, if we click compute, automatically it will get the result for the sum. The result should be 7, so dapat automatic. Okay, so to do that, again you have to know the name of your components. So for example this one, again the name of this one is txtfn, this one the name is txtsn. Okay, that is the variable name. And then we have the button btn compute btn compute, and then this one, this is txt result. Okay, yun. So if we click compute, okay, so we have to put some commands or program in our compute button. Double click, so it will create a private method. So this is the private method for the compute button or button btn compute. Okay, yeah. By the way class, in our, if you notice, for naming our components, for putting names in our components, I usually use yung txt to so that I know that the component is a text box, and then I put btn so that I know that this is a button btn for my source code. So for example this one, in my source code, if this is a btn, meaning this is a button, but it's up to you if you want to remove yung txt btn in naming your components, it's okay. Okay, yan. Okay lang na wala yung btn, wala yung txt. But for me, I usually put some parang identification in naming my components, yung mga txt, btn, para in my source code I will know na this one pala, this is a button, and saan yung isa, and this one, this is a label lbl, and this one, this is a text box. Okay, yeah. Anyway, let's go back here, compute, double click compute, then we will put some source code. So txt, can we just put result? Ganito na lang. We will create a variable kasi we will add the two data or the two values. So int a, for example, int a for the txt fn, then we'll use the get text method that get text to get the data or value of the text field first number. But we have an error here. Incompatible types string cannot be converted to int. Why? Because the data type of our objects or components, all the components in our GUI is a string. String kasi yung data type niya. And in our source code, we created a variable. The data type of the variable is integer. Okay? But the data type of this one, yung text field, is a string because that is the default data type. Okay? So for that, we have to create another variable, string str string fn first number is equal to txt fn dot get text. Yan. Okay, and then we created another variable for int fn, integer first number is equal to integer dot. Do you still remember how to convert this string to integer? And I'm using integer.parseInt. To convert this one, this variable, because the data type of this variable is a string kasi siya. So I need to convert that into integer using the integer.parseInt method. Okay, and then put that in our variable int fn. Okay, same with the second number sn. Okay, yeah. For the second number, the name of the text field is txtsn. So here txtsn, then we use the get text method to get the data or value, then put that in a variable strsn. Okay, yan. And then we convert, so we need to convert sn integer.parseInt, convert the string to integer, then put that in this variable int sn for the second number. Okay, next int result is equal to int fn plus int sn. Yan. Then display. How to display? Dito sa result. So the name of this text field is text result. txt result. So txt result that using the set text method. Okay, result. Then the name of this one, result. But we have an error. Why? Because the data type of this variable is an integer. Integer yung data type niya. Pero the data type, the default data type of this one, okay, by the way, this is the name of our text field. Again, the default data type of all the components in our GUI is a string. So we need to convert this one kasi yun nga, this is an a string, this is a string, and this is an integer, so they have a parang conflict. So we need to create another variable. String str result is equal to paano na yun? String dot value of result, then semicolon. Okay, yan. By the way, class, did you use the integer dot parse in to convert already during your object oriented programming ata yun? Gumamit ba kayo ng ganito, parse int and string value of? Yes. Uy, good. Yun, so same with this one also. So you can use the integer dot parse int and string dot value of to convert string to integer and integer to string. But you can also use other methods or techniques for conversion. Pwede rin naman. Okay, so let's try it. Run the file. Right click, then run, then let's see. 1, 2, compute. 5, 6, compute. 11. 15, 8 plus 15, 23. Okay. Ito naman, Joffer Reyes. Welcome, Joffer Reyes. Mike Aquino. Display, Mike. Welcome, Mike Aquino. Okay. We still have time. Meron pang time. You can also use or combine other commands of Java. Sabihin na lang natin Java tutorial. Conditional statement. Okay, ito na lang example. So in our NetBeans design, okay, so this will be the last topic. Move lang natin doon yun. Welcome, then this one and this one. Okay. Tag-isa pala. Copy paste. First copy paste. Hindi, yun na lang pala, para hindi na ako gagawa ng ganun. So this is for the compute result, and then let's create another command button na lang. Okay, let's create another command button. Copy paste na lang natin, copy and paste. Yan. So text condition na lang, and then name btn condition. Okay, then label na lang ulit, label font 24 bold Arial. Okay, then ano lang, border. Can I put some border or background? How about purple? Hindi, pan pala. Border, ito, border line. Okay, good. So if we click the condition. So for example 1 2. So if we click condition, it will say 1 is less than 2. Okay, let's try that one. Source, by the way, dito pala tayo. Double click condition. Okay, then here let's get this one, copy, and then put that in this one, button condition. Okay, to get the value and then convert that, then let's put a condition. If int fn is less than int sn, unexpected, okay, yun. Okay, yan. And then the name of our label name, ah label condition, okay, LBL condition. So that is the name of this label. So label condition that set text less than. Yan. What else? Then else if int fn is greater than int sn, then label condition set to greater than. Okay, try natin. Right click, run file. It's already 425. Last 1 2 compute, result is 3, condition less than, right? The first number is less than the second number, less than. How about 3? Condition greater than, right? Pag 5 greater than, 10 less than. So using the conditional statement. Okay, how about equal? So let's put else, open and close curly brackets, yan, equal. Right click, run file, 1 2, condition less than, 4 greater than, equal to, condition equal. Okay, yan. So I'll be uploading my video demonstration